What's up, guys? Back in another video. Today we're gonna spice it up a little bit. Today we will be doing our WrestleMania 42 card predictions. We already have a couple matches I think that are kind of obvious that's gonna happen, but this video we're gonna I'm gonna predict what can happen in that match, why I think it should happen in that match, and I'm also gonna like I said, spice it up and add some matches that I would like to see and the outcomes, how I think it should happen. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, guys, this is our, most obvious match of the night. Obviously, it was already declared. Don't mind the lag. I think it's very glitchy. The picture just doesn't really matter. But this storyline is perfect, I think, for WrestleMania. Roman Reigns winning the Royal Rumble in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia a few weeks ago. But Drew McIntyre.
Stupid.
CM Punk, versus Finn Balor at the Elimination Chamber for the World Heavyweight Championship. I don't see Finn Balor winning this match at all. We're going to get into Finn Balor later because he's on one of these predictions. So, me being a huge Roman Reigns fan, I think he should win. I'm not saying, hold the title for 1,316 days like he did, years back, but I think he should win. And that's what's going to bring Bron Breakker into this picture, where he could potentially win at SummerSlam, which I think would be the correct move, setting Bron Breakker up for the future. He is the future of the business. Others like Obafemi is also the future. Javon Evans, Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes, all these guys are the future. And I think it starts off with Bron Breakker winning the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam. And I think the most appropriate person to take it from is Roman Reigns. So I do see Roman Reigns defeating CM Punk at WrestleMania 42 in the main event. And the way they're building this up, like I personally said, I don't know if I said it on the channel, but I did go to the Monday Night Raw in Philadelphia when they cut their potentially Roman Reigns' greatest promo ever, one of CM Punk's greatest promos ever. These two were going back and forth with it. It was just genuinely such a great thing to see, and that's like the big thing that's going to lead up to this amazing WrestleMania match. And I enjoyed I'm going to enjoy every second of it. This is a personal good match. Personally, to me, this is
You could.
I think this could be match of the night. Obviously, two of the biggest stars on the roster. Well, people might not think Roman Reigns is the biggest star on the roster because he barely shows up, but in my eyes, he is. So I think Roman Reigns will take the W here. And yeah, let's get on to the next match. All right, this is our next prediction. Well, actually, no, our first prediction, because obviously CM Punk and Roman Reigns is not a prediction match that I would pick. Obviously, I predicted the winner, but, never mind. So, we got Brock Lesnar, Obafemi. I think this is going to be a match at WrestleMania. I don't really care what night. I think either night one or night two, don't really matter. But this is going to be huge for Obafemi. I think he could pick up the W here against Brock Lesnar. Setting the tone for the Raw division, the SmackDown division. He's been on both nights, so whatever he decides to be on, he's going to set the tone in the main title scene, defeating one of the greats. But I have seen on Twitter people saying, Brock Lesnar should get squashed in this match. No. I mean, listen, I wouldn't hate it, but at the same time, I wouldn't love it, because Brock Lesnar, the beast he is, I don't think he's the type of guy to get squashed. He doesn't want to look like a jobber. He doesn't want to look like, Obafemi's son, as you would say. Just genuinely don't think that'd be appropriate. And I don't think Brock would like that personally. So I think they should just go at it. They should brawl out this match. And I think Obafemi should win. Coming up from NXT. He's going to be a future world champion, and it's going to be very soon. I'm calling it. I'm going to call the shot right now. He's going to be a champion really soon. So, I think he should be, on SmackDown. Because the Raw division, the World Title division, is probably full already. I mean, like I made in the last segment, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and then, Bron Breakker can take the title away. And I think Obafemi should, go into the SmackDown division. So, yeah, Other than that, I think Obafemi will take the W here if this match happens. All right, next up we have the Chris Jericho return versus the career killer Gunther. I have no clue if this would ever happen, but I would really love this happen. You know, Chris Jericho was supposed to come back the new year, in the new year. And then people said he's going to come back. I thought he was going to come back at the Rumble. I thought that'd be the most appropriate decision. And, you know, number 30 was stolen by Gunther, not Chris. I don't know why Chris Jericho wasn't number 30, but, you know, what am I going to say? You know, like, who's going to care what I say? So, if Chris Jericho ever comes back, Gunther's the perfect WrestleMania opponent. Most likely won't happen. But, you know, a lot of people would like to see this match. And obviously, Gunther will win this match. Ending the career of Chris Jericho. Damn, I'm tired. Anyway, sorry. Gunther would beat Chris Jericho here. You know, he's the career killer. He's going to keep whooping ass for the rest, for the rest of his time. Obviously, he's going to lose here and there, but it sucks to say, but he's probably going to end careers. Like, if this match genuinely happened, then Gunther would take the career of Chris Jericho, and it's just not really a question. You know, he took John Cena's career back in December. He took AJ Styles' career a few weeks ago. So, same thing for Chris Jericho. It's going to be, you know, a walk in, walk out for the man. So, Gunther would take this if this match happened, and, you know, let's get into the next one. All right, next up,
Oh no!
yearly Intercontinental title ladder match. I wouldn't listen. I'm just being a jackass, but like, you know what I mean. WrestleMania 31, 32 had back-to-back IC title ladder matches. I would love to see another one. And obviously, the Intercontinental Champion, Dom Mysterio, would be in the match. I don't really know who to pick. You know, I think you guys see it here. Penta is definitely one of the options. If you see, you know, right next to him, Finn Balor, I think he'll eventually turn on the Judgment Day before WrestleMania. Listen, to me, it doesn't matter. If they set up, you know, Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio for the IC title, that'd be perfect. You know, like I said earlier in the video, not Dom Mysterio, Finn Balor would be mentioned in this video. I think this is the perfect moment I'm going to say it. It's either he turns on the Judgment Day. Well, I think he's going to turn on the Judgment Day anyway, but it's either he versus Dom Mysterio one-on-one at WrestleMania. There's a lot of things for Dom Mysterio. He could retire his dad. He can verse Finn Balor for the IC title, or a ladder match. What my personal best option, it could be, you know, with Penta, Finn Balor, and just much more. I would love to see that happen. You know, if it doesn't happen, it's fine. Out of those three people, I think those are going to be the only three options to win. Look, I would love to see Penta win a title at WrestleMania, but it's going to be most likely Finn Balor because, you know, everything he's been through. Excuse me. But I Finn Balor. If they go one-on-one, it's going to be Finn Balor if, you know, Penta's not in the scene. But I think a ladder match would be really nice to set the tone at WrestleMania. Possibly, you know, hell, it could open up the show at WrestleMania Saturday. That would be epic, you know, to open up the show with a nice little ladder match. And if it does happen, I think Finn Balor would take all the gold here in this match. So let's get into the next one, guys. All right, next up we have the WWE Undisputed Championship match between Drew McIntyre and LA Knight. LA Knight did recently win the Elimination Chamber qualifying match, so it'll be him, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, I think, are the three currently. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think, yeah. I think LA Knight will win the Elimination Chamber as he deserves, go on to WrestleMania, and defeat Drew McIntyre. You know, I've said this. Excuse me. I've said this. I love Drew McIntyre. I really do. But I think this is a really deserved win for LA Knight to win his first world title. And I think he could do a lot of stuff with it, you know. He could, you know, take on Jacob Fatu possibly. I'm pretty sure they're on a little... Are they? I don't know. I don't even know. Well, he can do anything. Cody Rhodes maybe again. God forbid if he wins, I swear. But LA Knight would be the perfect decision here. I would love every second of this. And another guy, Randy Orton, I think could also win the Chamber. Either two would be perfectly fine with me, as long as they're beating Drew McIntyre, because they're both well deserved. But I think LA Knight deserves a little bit more than Randy Orton, and we're gonna go with somebody with Randy Orton next. All right, speaking of Randy Orton, next up we got Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. This would be a fantastic match to see. I would love if this would happen. And listen, maybe if this doesn't happen, maybe, we'll bring Cody Rhodes still. Maybe Jacob Fatu would be perfect, maybe. I would love either or, but maybe Randy Orton might make some sense. Jacob Fatu, listen, they'll both make really good sense. But I would love to see, either match. But I think Randy Orton is going to be the one to stick to me. This is going to be a fantastic match. Yeah. And who would win this match? It can go either or for me. I really wouldn't care. I probably want Randy Orton to win. Listen, no offense to Cody Rhodes. He's the top guy. Not really the top guy anymore, but he was the top guy. He's still at the top. But, I don't know. I think he wins too much. So we got to give it to Randy Orton here. Yeah. And, we'll probably do a couple more matches here. So let's get into them. All right, next up we have something with the Usos for the World Tag Team Champion. Or no, are they the World Tag Team Championships? No, I think the ones on SmackDown. I think this is just a regular tag team. Yeah, these are regular tag team championships. I really don't care what they do with this. Genuinely, I'm gonna keep it 100%. I love the Usos. Little bias here. Jimmy is my favorite out of the one. Jimmy's one of my favorites. Jimmy really grew on me. So I like them both. Did not mean to hit my mic there. But listen, like I said, I love them both, I love the Usos at the Tag Team Championships, but let's keep it 100% here. The Raw Tag Team roster, it's just falling apart. I haven't seen anything recently. I mean, last night was or whenever this is posted, but Monday, Usos, Akira Tozawa, and Otis, there was a couple botches in that match. But the Usos did take it, which makes the most sense. Maybe they'll set something up in the near future at WrestleMania. But all I'm saying is these two should be in WrestleMania defending the titles. So, yeah. On to the next one. All right, next up, we have a tag team match. I would love to see. This is kind of a dream match. Obviously, not really a dream match. If it could possibly happen. We got the MFTs up here versus the Wide Six, Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, JC Mateo, and Tala Tonga. And then we have the Wide Six, Uncle Howdy, Dexter Loomis, Eric Rowan, Joe Gacy, who's the Nikki Cross. She obviously doesn't have to do anything with the match. She'll just be at ringside. But I would love to see this 4-on-4. Right? 4. Maybe. You do. Oh, wait. I have a good idea. I would love to see this happen. We'll do Tonga Loa, JC Mateo, Tala Tonga versus Rowan, Dexter Loomis, and Joe Gacy in a 6-man tag team match. Then, later on we'll have Uncle Howdy, Solo Sikoa. They'll have a nice match. And, we've been seeing some things recently. I'll pull this up next. So we're going to save that for this next match here that I would love to see happen. So, screw it. Let's just go straight into it. All right, next up, we have a tag team match. I would love to see. This is kind of a dream match. Obviously, not really a dream match. If it could possibly happen. We got the MFTs up here versus the Wide Six, Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, JC Mateo, and Tala Tonga. And then we have the Wide Six, Uncle Howdy, Dexter Loomis, Eric Rowan, Joe Gacy, who's the Nikki Cross. She obviously doesn't have to do anything with the match. She'll just be at ringside. But I would love to see this 4-on-4. Right? 4. Maybe. You do. Oh, wait. I have a good idea. I would love to see this happen. We'll do Tonga Loa, JC Mateo, Tala Tonga versus Rowan, Dexter Loomis, and Joe Gacy in a 6-man tag team match. Then, later on we'll have Uncle Howdy, Solo Sikoa. They'll have a nice match. And, you know, we've been seeing some things recently. I'll pull this up next. So we're going to save that for this next match here that I would love to see happen. So, you know, screw it. Let's just go straight into it. All right, these are the 4 I was thinking here that could be, obviously, I really want to see at WrestleMania. First off, we're going to start all the way at, we'll go here. To my right, maybe the video is left. I really don't know. Probably you're right, too. Javon Evans, love to see him at WrestleMania. Possibly the Americanos, whatever that's going on over there. I think there was a little something on Raw. Maybe that could be something at WrestleMania we could see. All right, next up, Trick Willie. Trick Willie, I think he's going to verse one of these 4 I mentioned earlier. It could possibly be Randy Orton. I don't know. It'd be pretty cool to see maybe if Cody Rhodes ends up versing Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania. Maybe these 2 can come wrestle each other. Maybe Trick Willie versus, you know, maybe a returning Kevin Owens. That would be nice. I would also love to see that. Next up here, we got Carmelo Hayes, the current United States champion. Low-key, high-key, I think The Miz, maybe a little breaking point they have with each other, and they can go for the U.S. title. And here we have Aleister Black. I don't care. Something. I want something to do with Aleister Black. And also, I forgot to mention, so this is actually not going to be the final thing, because I have something for Liv Morgan I could see here. So let's get straight into that right now. All right, actually, you know, there's a lot more, but I'm just going to mainly focus on these 4. Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Vaquer at WrestleMania. It needs to happen for the Women's World Championship. I know Liv was talking about Jade right here, but nah, I don't see it. What I do see, though, is Jade Cargill and the return of Bianca Belair. I don't know if it would ever happen. Probably not, but I'd love to see it. Maybe like a little chamber.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Chamber return. Yeah, Elimination Chamber return. I'd love to see it. Also, maybe Tiffany Stratton could fit in this spot if Bianca Belair doesn't return. I don't know. I really don't know. And, yeah. So, I think these four women will be our main eventers. Not our main eventers, obviously not, but our women's championship matches. If Bianca doesn't return, obviously, like I said, probably Tiffany Stratton. So yeah, here we go. Before I record my outro, or before I, say my outro, I also want to shout out AJ Lee and maybe Becky Lynch. Maybe they can go for a women's championship belt or something like that. I don't know. I think what is Becky Lynch, the women's Intercontinental title? I don't know though, because Maxine Dupree could also maybe do something with Natalia, but I guess she's looking for the women's Intercontinental Championship, so maybe that sets something up. I really don't know, but other than that, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.